Did you know that your initial foot strike position and your upper body posture during running can be strongly affected by where you hold your hands, and that holding your hands at your heart and keeping your hands very close to your chest when you run may have a real role to play in helping put into motion mechanical outputs that are good for economic sufficiency and injury prevention. If you watch the best distance runners, men and women in the world, these runners are from East Africa, Ethiopia, and Kenya. Runners like Eliud Kipchoge, Ternish Dababa, Vivian Cheruiyot, Tiki Jelena, Mary Katani, just to name a few, you'll undoubtedly notice two things about their hand carriage and arm swing. You'll notice that their hands are always held very close to the chest, with the hands usually being held either at the heart, like most East African men distance runners, namely Kipchoge, and most East African women distance runners tend to carry their hands even higher at their collarbone or even at their neck, like Ternish Dababa and Mary Katani. And these runners also punch the midline with their hands. So their forearm typically crosses the torso as compared with many European and North American distance runners, many of which tend to carry their hands much lower, like below the rib cage or even at the hips, and they swing their forearms down alongside their torso, punching outwards in front of the torso with their hands. So their hands end up swinging out in front of the body, which may be mechanically ineffective for running longer distances. And I'll explain the scientific backing for that in just a moment. In contrast, like I stated before, most East African distance runners swing their hands and forearm across their torso. Many also swing their hands past the torso's midline. So just to reiterate, because this is very essential information regarding running form, that those are the two major differences in how most East African distance runners carry and swing their arms as compared to most non-African distance runners. Many East African men distance runners tend to hold their hands close to the heart. Same with the women, but many more East African women distance runners tend to carry their hands above or at their breastbone. But both men and women, East African distance runners, punch the midline with their hands. They never punch out away from the torso. What is the economical and mechanical relevance for this type of arm swing? Why did, for example, Ternish Dababa adjust her arm swing and hand carriage from low hands to high hands when she made the transition from the 5,000 meter to the 10,000 meter and the marathon? Why hold your hands close to your heart, close to your torso, and swing your hands towards the torso's midline, not down alongside your torso when you are running long distances, 10,000 meter to the marathon? It's not because, oh, that's just how East African runners run and that's not how we run. They've been told to carry their hands higher and closer to their chest because there's a strategic purpose in that it reduces whole body muscular work. And that's because the hard truth is where you carry your hands when you run has a proven influence on determining the trajectory of your leg swing activity, your initial foot strike position, and your upper body's postural sway. And Jay Gruink, owner of The Balanced Runner, which is linked down below the video in the description box, does a wonderful job at helping us understand this influence. She wrote an incredibly informative piece entitled "Keep Your Hands Close to Your Heart When You Run." In her article, she gives clear-eyed assessments using videos showing how East African distance runners carry their hands and swing their arms compared to their non-East African competitors. The main centerpiece of her article is that arm swing and hand carriage during running strongly influences two very important mechanical outputs: initial foot strike position and upper body posture, such that where you carry your hands in relation to your torso and how you swing your arms when you run powerfully affects your initial foot strike position, which influences stride length, which also influences cadence, which is the number of steps you take per minute, which influences impact force production. Secondly, where you carry your hands in relation to your torso strongly affects your ability to lean forward with your upper body during running. For a side note, I posted a link below the video in the description box to a video that I did about why it's essential to lean forward as opposed to running upright with the upper body posture during running. In getting back to her article, according to Jay, one natural, effortless way to guide your center of mass, which is your upper body, forward and keep that forward lean sustained more easily during running is by keeping your hands close to your chest, which enables you to achieve a more perfect forward lean angle with greater ease, which can advance rapidly, more seamless, effortless forward momentum. Sadly, these are the overall core attributes about how arm swing and hand carriage affects whole body mechanics during running that are not often emphasized or even told in the first place. In her post, Jay starts off by implying that all along distance runners have been told to swing their arms in a way that may work against us, such that conventionally we've been told to bend our elbows to 90 degrees and swing our arms straight front to back, kind of like a sprinter, and is mechanically practical for sprinting, which we'll get to why that is in just a moment. But in this capacity, in the context of long distance running, it does not sustain well, partly because the hands and forearm swing way out in front of the center of mass. By default, the landing foot naturally follows the line of action of this arm swing trajectory, and that the foot too now will swing out in front of your center of mass, resulting in a stride opening up too far in front of your torso, so it increases your stride length, potentially resulting in an overstride, which may create longer brake force duration periods, which may cause more stress on the foot and leg, and is overall an impact force variable frequently linked to bone injuries. In contrast, Jay states that if you are trying to correct your overstride while running, a powerful remedy is to keep your hands as close as possible to your body with each step, because doing so keeps your feet landing consistently close to your center of mass, which is going to effectively and dramatically shave down the brake force duration period. This is one reason that keeping your hands close to your torso sustains so well for long distance running, like the 10,000 meter to the marathon. But for much shorter distances, Jay underscores that sprinters and middle distance runners use a different kind of arm swing, and that they move their hands out in front of the body to help push the landing foot far enough forward in efforts to accommodate the high speed of their center of gravity. So the big takeaway here is that keeping your hands very close to your torso helps you leverage a shorter stride during running. It gives you greater mechanical control to help pull your landing foot in closer to your center of mass. And with my experience, it's remarkable how quickly you can feel the difference in where your foot wants to land closer to your body when you keep your hands close to your torso. Secondly, Jay explains that arm swing and hand carriage strongly affects upper body posture and postural sway during running. More specifically, your arm swing and hand carriage affects your ability to lean forward while running by helping you concentrate your center of mass. She outlines that during running, the body needs to be pushed forward and upward from the ground, and she underscored that this is easiest to do if your body is not too spread out, which makes sense because according to Jay, when your hand is far from your chest when running, your torso and head shifts backwards to compensate and to push from your foot in late stance, goes somewhere between them to move you forward. She went on to emphasize that, quote, if you try to force your arms to swing straight front to back like a sprinter, because the context of this video isn't for sprinters, the context is long distance running. If you try to force your arms to swing straight front to back, you'll interfere with the ability of your core to move properly, and your effort will be higher at any speed. You'll have to pull your shoulders back, forcing your chest upwards, making it nearly impossible to lean forward, unquote. In other words, applying sprinting arm swing mechanics when you're trying to run a marathon may displace your upper body mechanics pushing your upper body in the wrong direction, backwards, which is not a way to help you seamlessly maintain smooth forward momentum. To make sure that you have what is needed for that optimal forward lean while running, keeping your hands close to your chest may be one of the best ways to go, because when your hand is close to your chest when you run, your whole body is in a better position to be pushed forward with greater ease with very minimal pushback. So I just want to impress upon the important point that arm swing and hand carriage certainly has a chain reaction on your biomechanics when running. Everything that Jay has described about high hands, held very close to the body, punch toward the midline is in clear accordance with how many of the best long distance runners who smash world records, who win gold medals, or who overall consistently win 10,000 meter half marathons on the world stage. Again, these runners are from East Africa. Both men and women have the same common denomination in that their hands are always held close to the chest, but the girls swing their hands up higher at the breastbone or at the collarbone or even at the neck, whereas for most East African men distance runners, their hands swing up lower at the heart, whereby this style of arm swing and hand carriage ultimately helps shape your stride and body posture in ways that effectively closes off high impact variables that are damaging to the leg. So there are protective effects to swinging the hands close to your chest. And lastly, it may be more cost effective for running longer distances on the basis that long distance runners who run with their hands close to their chest seem to be consistently winning and breaking records than most runners who run with dropped hands at the waist, with the hands and forearm held farther away from the upper body. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up button as well as the subscribe button if you haven't already, where you will get more evidence-based information on the hot button debate, forefoot strike running versus heel strike running, and of course, you can support Run Forefooted through PayPal as well, which is also linked down below the video in the description box. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Have fun out there on the roads and trails. Bye for now.